This is the UC Hunting Properties Podcast, your home for all things recreational land. Our goal, to help you stand on your investment. Hey everybody, welcome back. UC Hunting Properties Podcast. Special guest with us today, John Bunge of the best deer show in the country.
Yeah.
Hands down, brother. I think I said this last year, but I'm going to say it again because I think I've been to every one since they started holding it.
Well,
I was going to college in Des Moines when this thing started.
really? Well, I bet I can trump you on that, though. I bet you weren't there for the first one in 1990. But
No, definitely wasn't there for 1990. This would have been in 2000-ish, 2001.
yeah, I got a crazy history story. I could probably, if I could do it in about 15 seconds, if you want to hear it.
Fire away.
So we started the Iowa Deer Classic in 1990 in Waterloo.
Okay.
At the Sullivan Convention Center.
That's why I wasn't there. I didn't want to get shot. I wasn't going to roll into Waterloo.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Well, it definitely wasn't a thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we had it 2 years in Waterloo because we couldn't get anything going in Des Moines, and then we had it one more year at Adventureland
Okay.
in Des Moines because at the time you couldn't get into Vets Auditorium. It was basically just the sports show, the home show, and all the high school sports.
Sure.
So we walked away from it. And I don't know, many years later, Larry and Greg Huffman started up their version of it when they got some dates at the Iowa Event Center, and they were mainly into. Larry Huffman was a deer guy.
Absolutely.
That's all he cared about was. And Greg, his son, was the businessman, and he, they kind of. So anyway, I bought the show from them, purchased it. What we started left, I bought it, and then we've grown it, a million times from what it was. It was
yeah, the scale of it from even from what I remember, what I'm calling the first one in the early 2000s or 2000, whatever it was. The couple things that stick out, I remember that year has to be the most impressive group of bucks I've ever seen in general because they brought in, I don't know if it was the King of Bucks or
they had their own collection.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous.
But now we don't bring in deer collections because
you don't need to.
Our guys bring in the deer collection.
Yeah,
I mean, between the Hall of Fame display and the big buck contest, as you know, that's a world-class display.
It's second
anywhere.
second to nowhere. Yeah.
So yeah, it's something, and yeah, those guys. That was probably 20 years ago, and a neat thing that those guys started back then was the first NASP state event in the lower level. I mean, I think they had 100 shooters, and it grew to 200. Then we grew it to where we were using the old vets, and it was in conjunction with the Deer Classic, and they outgrew us. You know, now they're at the fairgrounds with 1,000 kids,
which is awesome.
I mean, and it's just so it's just cool stuff happens.
But hey, even on that note, I mean the tournament you guys host during the Classic.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing. That's got a lot of lift to it too. There's a lot of shooters doing it.
Oh yeah, the Mid Iowa Archers do a great job running our 300 shoot.
Yep.
They do it every year, and they know what they're doing, and
Well, it's a competitive bugger. There's some big names on that sheet.
I stay every once in a while. I think I should bring my bow and just to shoot it. No, I'm not gonna.
Well, I think it's the same thing. I think back like the first time I ever shot at the Classic was when you guys did the pop up, and I think that's still a thing.
Well, and Raised at Full Draw runs that. Don East Peterson does a great job.
They do a great job. Yep.
And so those are just all part of the event, just all hands-on
it's
activities.
Cool.
Yeah,
one, it's nonstop, right? So I remember shooting that, and I've done the 300 round a couple times, but I'm done embarrassing myself trying to play with the big boys. So
yeah.
I'll stick to killing things.
Yeah, I got too many things on my mind during the show to concentrate on.
Maybe you should shoot, John, to get your mind off of it.
Maybe you're right.
Oh, funny. Yeah. Well, it looks, I mean, we're sitting here, obviously, this thing's coming up next week, and already we're filming here in essence a week ahead of it, and we'll get this out and push it around on our social media for you, John. But walk us a little bit through what you got coming this year, because I mean I get the general format very similar every year, but if somebody hasn't been to the show, I want to give them some scope and scale, because it is, in my opinion, and I'm biased of course being an Iowa guy, but I have been to a lot of outdoor shows, and this is the grand poobah.
Well, I'll tell you the big thing, and the one negative thing we hear from people, which other events don't have this problem, is too many people, that kind of thing. Well, we've done a few things. first off, I've added at least 50 booths, so we're probably going to have more exhibitors than we've ever had. Which that's the number one reason people come, to shop, see what's new, shop for products, and just be around all the stuff. That's number one thing.
Yep.
So we've added the upper level grand concourse. I've got a whole row of booths there. Added another row in the north hall. But with that, we've changed the entrance on the upper level to what is the Memorial Hall entrance, which goes into Community Choice Credit Union, it's called, but it's the old vets, the northwest entrance. So that's going to be a major entrance to help hopefully alleviate the congestion on the lower level.
Kind of a bottleneck, yep.
So that's going to be our big buck entrance. So if anybody's bringing bucks, they need to come. We've got a drop off on 5th Avenue now instead of 3rd. But, so anyway, that'll be a bigger entrance, and people can go right down the escalator to the North Hall, or they can go right to the bucks or the seminars or the exhibits I've got up there. And
let's take a second, John, and talk about your big buck contest, because to me it's twofold, because the sheds that come in and get scored through this show with the North American Shed Association or Shed Hunters Association.
Yeah, North American Shed Hunters Club.
Yeah, or club. There you go. Those guys do a bang-up job. I mean, I think they're kind of in a league of their own, too, with the display they bring and put up.
Yeah, well, Matt and Mike, they're the antler hunters, too.
Absolutely.
And you talk about world-class displays, there's another one. Every year they do a themed display, and this year they're going to do giant sheds from places that aren't normally known for sheds.
Sure.
So they've got some, and I can't think of them off the top of my head, but different states where you wouldn't think of sheds, big sheds coming. They're mixing in a bunch of that. And Matt has his, I think it's Alberta. He shot.
It's over 200, right?
One of the top typical bow kills shot this year.
I've seen it.
It might be number 2 or whatever.
Well, I'm pretty sure it trended pretty heavy on social media when it went down.
Yeah. So he sent me the videos and photos. But anyway, he's going to have that deer there.
Nice.
Also, so that's
super cool.
And with the big buck contest and displays up there, all at the same area up there.
And just so people know, John, I mean, I don't even want to throw a number at it because I'm going to throw the wrong number at it. But, I mean, we're talking about hundreds of deer coming in to get scored, officially get scored.
Yeah, I think we normally get around 350 for that. And I'm sure they get around 200 sheds come in.
Sure.
And then, the Hall of Fame display, those are past big buck entries that meet Boone and Crockett qualifications. They get invited back every year. Yeah. And if they bring their deer, they get in for free, and we give them some stuff. But that alone, that display.
Oh, that display's
close to 50 Boone and Crockett deer right there.
And I always bring it up because it's probably my favorite deer of all time. Maybe completely all time, but I mean, dang sure out of Iowa. That Hattie Peck buck, and I think it's from southeast Iowa. Killed in a deer drive, the whole deal. I mean, it's like Iowa heritage stamped. But that thing, it's one of the most obtuse animals I've ever put my eyes on. I mean, just an absolute freak, typical frame on it. It's everything. I mean, when I close my eyes and think of, like a dream buck, it's that deer.
Yeah, I have to take a closer look.
It's there every year. They're very consistent with having it there, and I'm glad they are, because every year I stand there and gawk at it for 5 minutes. So
the neat thing this year, we're kind of going through the list. We had some of the we've got a few regulars that are aging and not in great health that aren't coming, but we've got quite a few new ones coming this year.
Yeah,
so
cool.
It's kind of neat.
How many scores are there? Because that's a volunteer thing, right?
Yeah, we cover their expenses and lodging and meals and all that. But they measures across the Midwest would pay us to
be
measure
there
because they want to be part of it, and they it's the camaraderie of these guys. I think we have 20 measures and their assistants. I mean,
they're busy.
Oh yeah, we had a picture last year of Friday. The number of bucks that came in, and the floor was covered with them. That they couldn't get to all of them. I mean,
it's awesome.
So that was pretty cool.
Well, I always chuckle because everyone's kind of on pins and needles up until about noonish on Sunday, and I swear there's always a buck or two that's going to go to the top end, that slips in on Sunday, and it's in and out of there, and you were either there to see it or you weren't. But more times than not, I've seen that leaderboard change pretty dramatically noon, 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, that's fun. And, the other side of it, we encourage guys to, just to bring their deer and display the great experience they had and get them measured, whether or not they're trying to win something or not.
For sure.
That makes it great. And then, boy, you think of all the other big Iowa giants that never come to the show, that guys are hiding in their basements.
It blows my mind. Well, I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
Even the deer that do go to the show, and we get to see and look at a leaderboard and, all the different categories. You guys got tons of categories. I always just sit and think, like, basically all of those deer, by and large, other than, like, your historical category, they were all probably just killed last year in this state.
Right.
And it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, but there's the sleepers out there. There's some guys we could call out right now, but we're not.
No, we'll get slapped around if we do that. And I can't think. I'm just trying to think back to last fall if there's going to be anything there that's potentially rewriting the. Well, like last year, you had the new number 2 typical there.
There's the Burlington buck coming. And I don't have the information up. Well,
I know what you're talking about.
I think he's a number 5.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Cameron Coble measured it, I think, and he sent me some pictures. I've got it on the website,
It's a hammer.
But anyway, he'll be there. So
that's cool.
There's always some gems like that.
Oh, you ain't kidding. And not to make this all about the big buck contest, but I mean for the diehard deer guys, I don't care if you don't walk the exhibits, go walk the big buck hall because I can spend all day in there looking at them sheds. And I'm on about a 2-hour rotation, John, when I'm at the show. I make a little loop through there to see what's new or what showed up. But no, that's neat. That's neat. Cool. Well, I was just glancing through the seminars. You guys will have 3 stages going all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I love it because when I'm going through this list, I see a lot of names I recognize or know the guy. Skip Slide, number 1. I love what he's talking about, or his topic being keep Iowa deer hunting great. There's a lot of meat on that bone.
Yeah.
And I would highly encourage anyone, if you're at the show, step into that. Skip's kind of taken a front row from a legislation perspective to step up and be our voice, our hunter's voice.
And that's where this started. He and Lee Lukoski got a hold of me to start with. And in the meantime, Taylor Riggin and Chris Duncan were starting this Iowa Sportsman's Club, and they reached out to me for the same thing.
Yep.
And then I've got a guy with
well, let's give those guys a little shout-out, too, right? The Iowa Sportsman's – do they call it the club or the Alliance?
It's the Iowa Sportsman's Club.
It is
It's brand
ISC.
new. It's affiliated with the Dallas Sportsman's Club.
Safari Club, I think.
Yeah. And anyway, they're going to have their gala on Friday, and I think they still have some tickets available. So
first annual or the inaugural gala.
That's great. And then we had one of the regional guys from Backcountry Hunters and Anglers got a hold of me about the same thing. So all these guys are kind of pooling together on this panel, but basically it's about getting involved and keeping what we've got.
Well, and just creating a voice, right? Because, I mean, even talking to Skip off record, he's like, the problem is there's a lot of our legislators that aren't hunters. They don't live this lifestyle. They're almost oblivious.
Yeah.
And, if we're not the ones to educate them, they don't even know what the heck they're voting on.
Yeah, so whether you agree or disagree with little bits of what everybody's talking about, overall it's a great thing. So
and Skip does such an incredible job covering the topic. There couldn't have been a better guy doing that seminar. Ben Rising's the name that obviously pops off the list. That dude's killed more big deer in 20 years than most guys will see in a lifetime.
Yep.
So he'll be great. He's going to be talking about calling deer and truly understanding their body language. Kenneth Lancaster, formerly a Primos, currently with Expedition. That dude's kind of a legend as well. And I don't know if you could sit in a seminar with somebody that's killed more big bull elk than Kenneth Lancaster because he stacks them up.
Yeah, he had a lot of topics he could cover, but we got enough deer, so he popped right in. He can do elk and turkey.
I chuckled. I was going to say when I seen he was bull elk was his thing. I love that because I think most guys associate Kenneth with turkey hunting from his Primos days.
And he's going to do turkey too. Turkey also. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
He flip-flops or whatever.
Yep.
That's awesome. Jared Mills, I think everyone, recognizes that name from his time at Midwest Whitetail. Same thing. Greg Glessinger and Casey Morgan. Those guys are studs. Huntworks TV is what they're doing now, and same thing. Greg's a giant landowner, and Casey, I think by title, maybe before Huntworks, was his farm manager. So there isn't many dudes going more extreme than what Greg and Casey are doing from a land management perspective. So that's one I'm not going to miss for sure. But that kind of gives people just a high level, but I mean, it's all day. These seminars are popping all day.
Yeah, I'm real happy with this entire lineup. I mean, we got trapping in there and some good rifle, how to scope your gun, how to build a precision rifle, some of that in there as well, and with and swamp hunting. Yeah, Ronnie Adams from the Swamp People. He's a big hunter of not just that too, but he's going to talk swamp hunting and whatever.
And you know how it is that the guys that are killers can do it anywhere, and there are traits and differences in where you're at. So I love that it's literally titled swamp hunting.
You know what they do down there? Are they called swamp rats? There's something there's a bounty on them. That's what it is. And they, they go out. I don't know if they kill 1,000 of them. I mean, it's one of those.
Right. Pile them up.
Yeah. So anyway, I look forward to hearing more about that too. That sounds like a hoot.
That's an awesome. I guess my point being, for any of the listeners, the seminar lineup this year at the Classics, legit. Like you could sit in seminars all day if you just wanted to fill your mind with some knowledge.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm real happy the way it's shaped up. Takes a while to put it all together.
Wanted to have 3 booths. It looks like you got 3 big sponsors on your booths. Quick shout out for those guys. You got Expedition Archery, you got Muddy, and you got the crew at Rolling Bones. So kudos to those guys for stepping up and grabbing those spots.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
I think, and I'm just looking here too, John. 5:30 on Saturday, Dave Huffman's covering, or Hoffman, sorry. Successful deer recovery before and after the shot. Everyone should probably be in that one.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we're our own worst enemies, right?
Yeah, that's one of those topics. Like in the old boat show days, we'd do boating safety seminars, and like 2 people would come, and that's the one everybody should go to. Right. Yeah, this one will draw a lot more than that. But yeah, he's got some great data, and anyway, that'll be a good talk.
Anything else we need to cover on this? Because like I said, I mean, I'm obviously biased, but I'm super excited. Every year I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get back to the Classic.
On the seminars, you mean, or just in general?
Well, just in general, John. I mean, what's the best way for people to get tickets?
They get them online, and then you get in the entry. We're giving away a hawk blind, Hoyt Alpha X30 bow.
Nice.
And all kinds of other prizes throughout that. We've started giving them away a few weeks ago, so you get your tickets online, you get in the drawings for all that.
Sure.
I've got if you got kids, bring them. I've got Nature Nick's Animal Adventures. I got animal shows throughout all 3 days. That'll be up on the upper level as well.
That's cool. And there are a lot of kids walking around the Classic. Oh, yeah. I love that.
We got the free kids archery range back there.
You'll fling some arrows.
The Raise It Full Draw folks run that and help kids. They got all the equipment they need. Ladies' Day is Friday. All ladies get in for $5. Sunday's Veterans Day. Current and active military with ID, $5.
Awesome.
We still have a $20 wristband for 3 days, and
I wish you had a $20 wristband for 3 days worth of beers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a whole nother topic.
So that's another congestion area, and I had a talk with the concession gal yesterday. As a matter of fact, she told me they're going to spread out. They're going to have more locations to help spread the beer crowd out a little bit.
Well, I mean, they go hand in hand. Let's talk deer hunting. Let's have some beers. I mean, it's literally like.
Yeah, so the Trophy Bucks of Iowa guys, they were always mad because they lost there used to be beer in their little corner across from them, but it got so jammed up, and they're all, where's our beer? Right. But it's back again.
Well, they always had the big koozies. They even had the koozies that fit the big stadium beers.
Well, so I haven't told them, but it's a surprise. It's going to be back there. It's going to be back at that location again.
Sales are going to be through the roof for TBI for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, that's also they sell our official Deer Classic merchandise.
Yep.
So we've got the souvenir shirts there, so you can pick those up if you're a collector of every year. And they've got coupons if you in the show program, or if you get on our website, you can grab a coupon for your official.
Well, that's probably the best spot for somebody to check out information is the website regardless, right?
Oh, yeah. IowaDeerClassic.com for sure.
And it's all there. They got the seminar lineup and the times, and you name it, it's there. So,
yeah. But, yeah, just the big change is a lot more exhibitors, and then the new entrance up on that upper level to kind of help.
Well, I was going to give you kudos on that, too. I mean, I'm glad to hear it's growing and you got more exhibitors. The thing that stands out to me about this show probably more than any, you're not inundated. Like, you go to some shows and it seems like it's all outfitters. You go to some shows and it seems like it's all, like, almost non-endemic. I don't want to say weird things, but, out of,
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you guys really do have a blend of everything.
Yeah, we try to, we've got way more blinds than you'll see anywhere, but they're all different manufacturers. And
yeah.
I mean, if you're shopping for one, you don't have to shop anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
African Safaris is one that's, I kind of limit the number of them. We could have 30 of them in there.
Sure.
That just doesn't seem real beneficial to all of them. So,
right.
But yeah, it's as you know, the whole land management thing is huge from agents to
for sure
to food plot and
I mean the most important
and the cedars
booth.
I know
the most important booth at the Classic is the UC Hunting Properties booth. We're bringing a crew from Northern Iowa down, obviously, and actually bringing the booth down to set up. But we'll have the whole team from Hawkeye Farm Management and Realty out of Elbia. Great crew of dudes, and there's some guys in there that you want to talk deer and land management. They're the best in the business. So
I'm thinking we throw a spotlight from up above just on your booth where it's just
you're starting to talk my love language on maybe some smoke effects and pyro stuff going on.
You guys might have to put the shades on though. You'd be looking up in the.
Well, our future's so bright we wear them on the regular anyway, John. Good. So. No. Well, we really, really, really appreciate you taking time to jump in, give us a little background on the Classic, what's coming this year. Looking forward to seeing you this week, and it's like I said, I can't believe it's already the Iowa Deer Classic again.
This is the only time you'll see me sitting down. So
90 mile an hour, but
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Well, we appreciate it, John. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.